Before we start Davinci Resolve, it's important to look at our documents that we're going to be working with today. It's important to know that sometimes you're going to be getting your clips not only from your camera, but from other sources. So today I'm going to show you how do you use footages that are of the same resolution, but they could be at a different frame rate. All right, in lesson 1 on Davinci Resolve 15, we're going to manage the media. We're going to set the project setting, which is very critical for this version. And we're going to be using some clips that have different frame rates. Let's get started. So when you first launch Davinci Resolve, you will not see anything except this red one called Untitled Projects. You can create folders, and within folders you can put like-minded projects. Well, today we're just going to click on Untitled Project. So immediately it brings you to the edit mode. We're going to make some changes, but first I'm going to click on the media tab. Before I start using this in a workflow environment, I want to just give you a little brief overview of what you're looking at. This is the tab area down here where this is media, edit, this is fusion, which is used to do some animations, color correction, Fairlight does audio, and finally we have a delivery, which is where we're going to render the final product. What are we looking at here? Well, we click on, if you don't see media tab, if this is blanked out, you may see something that looks like this. Let's start from left to right. So normally it shows the media, and I've already got some media that Davinci Resolve knows about. First thing I want to do is I want to change my view. Okay, what I've just done now is I went to workspace and went to full screen. This window here is a source preview window. This is the timeline previewer. This is a timeline down here. In the center we have some wonderful tools right in here. One of them is the arrow, the select tool, and blade. You're going to use that a lot. You'll notice that when I hover over a tool, it tells me what the keyboard shortcut is. Might be good to know. All right. Well, let's get started. Hopefully by us doing some work, as I flow through the work, you'll get an idea how this all works. The easiest way to get files is to go to your file manager, say, you know what, I need all this stuff. Just grab all this stuff here, bring this over. And I'm going to click on Davinci Resolve because I just want to see it all by itself. Now we can organize things a little bit differently. There's no clips in the pool. I just put them in this top area, staging basically. I'm going to right click in the master area, new bin, and I'm going to put clips. And I'm going to right click again and do audio. Now right now audio is selected, so it makes a lot of sense to grab these two audio clips and just bring them in here. I'm going to click on clips. I'm going to highlight everything and then deselect those and bring those down here as well. So now quickly I've got some video clips and audio clips in the media storage area ready to go. Now before I do anything else, this is what I always do with Davinci Resolve 15. I go over to the gearbox. These settings are important. You can only set this once. If you change your mind, great. You get to start a new project. We know from the clips that they're all 1080, so that's good. That's what this is set at by default. But I don't want the playback rate to be the same time. I want to be, actually I want 24, so I'm going to change this to 24. I'm going to end up changing all the clips to 24. So I might as well go to 1080, 24. So now my video output monitoring, the playback is 24, the timeline is 24, and it's at 1080. Those are critical areas. I've set that already, and now I can save that. Now I'm going to go over to the edit mode. We have our media pool open. Our effects library is right here. We have some more libraries, which we'll get to later. Over on the right-hand side, you've got a mixer. If you click on it, it brings up an audio mixer. If we click on, let's say, a clip like this one. Click on metadata. It tells us the name of the file. More importantly, it's 23 frames per second. Wonderful. We have an inspector. Well, I can't use it just yet because there's nothing in the timeline. In fact, I need to make a timeline. But before I do that, now we're going to do some things that we need to do to these clips. I'm going to right click on this one and I'm going to say clip attributes. And I want to change this video file to 24. So I'm just going to click on that. This one, I'm going to shift click this one and this one and this one. And I'm going to go to clip attributes. And I'm going to go to video. And I'm going to change that to 24. Say OK. Now this one tells me it's the 59 one. But I'm going to do something with that too. I'm going to go in here, go to attributes, and we're going to make that 24. Okay, we've organized the media, and now we're ready to start. A lot of people tell you, just grab a clip, put it in there. It's already going to make a timeline. It's going to be called timeline 1. What do you care? I like to control the process. So I'm going to right click on this media pool area under timelines, and I'm going to create a timeline. I could have hit Control N. Now I'm going to give it a name. Out of town is what I'm going to call this. The audio track is mono, so I'm going to leave that like that and say create. So now there's my timeline, out of town. Here's video and here's audio. So now I've got a place for it to go. I want to show just enough footage to get an idea across. Start, play. It's going to play for a few seconds. We're going to start with that. You're in the city. It's a busy day. It's a morning. That's not exactly 7 seconds, but we'll fix that later. Let's just hit O. Pull it down right here. Now, there's actually no audio here. Let's go over to this symbol here because I'm going to click on the clip. I'm going to click on here and you'll see that this is selected. So if there was an audio wave there, we would have audio, but there isn't any. So what I'm going to do to keep things simple is I'm going to click on that and hit the backspace. I just don't need it. All right, let's go to the next scene, double click. And once again, we're going to just start there. 7 seconds is all we need. Or thereabouts. What we're showing is speed. All right, that's 6 seconds. That's enough. And we'll bring this down here. Now, let's say I want to make this 5 seconds. Change my mind. Called trim. I clicked on that. Now I can hit T or the symbol. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to bring this over here. See, it's counting backwards a few frames. Okay. Let's see. Well, let's try this side. What happens if I go this way? Oh, see what it's doing? It made that even. It's just bringing that over there. And now I've got the second piece exactly the length I want. Change our mind again and just bring the whole thing down. However long it is fine. We're going to click this piece, backspace to remove it. Now I want to speed this up. Let's put the playhead there, the marker there. And we're going to play it, and that's moving clouds, okay. But to me, that's a bit too slow. So let's do this. Let's just click on this clip, and we're going to change the speed of the clip. In fact, we're going to go 200% faster. And what does that do to the length of the clip? Well, it makes it shorter. Perfect. That's what we wanted. Let's go ahead and use the T. Let's do this. I'm going to bring this over here. Probably right about there is good. And now I've got the T tool. Grab this, move it over there. We're done. Home brings me here. So now if I hit play and the keyboard, it's going to play over here. This is our timeline monitor. All right, we're going to stop it right there. Let's bring this over here. One of the things that we need to do before we end is we need to save our project. It says save current project. Or it says, well, what do you want to call it? Well, we'll say out of town. Okay, the project is saved. And you want to do that quite often. Again, Control S in most applications is the keyboard shortcut for that. Okay, that's enough for today. Please subscribe and like if you will. It'll help me out a great deal as I can keep making these productions for you.